Hello everyone, this is my round 2 game for the fall tournament against one of my teammates, Devin. Former teammates, I guess, since I'm not in high school anymore. Devin, I think after I left, played, I think he was around like 3rd or 4th board. I don't remember exactly. But he's okay, he's about 1500 on the rating list. I don't have all of my prep against him. All the games that I've seen, he just plays against a lot of Rui Lopez, a little bit of Philidor, and I don't really play either of those. I play a little Philidor, but I don't really like it. So, since I don't really have anything to go off of, I'll just play my normal con. That's a questionable move. Okay. Not really sure. Not really sure why Bishop D2. Very strange. I wonder if I should play Bishop C5 here and just take the long diagonal. That's looking even more attractive now. Yeah, the long diagonal might be nice. I mean the bishop doesn't go to C5 in the con, but why not, right? Bishop C5, and I think knight F3 is the best move to facilitate some kind of push like that, but no, that's probably not even that good either. Huh. Yeah, I think C5 is just the best square for my bishop here. There's no, I don't have any con ideas where I go for that pawn at all. That's not gonna happen this game. I could just knight c6 and just throw a punch at the knight, but I think this is kind of the preferred way here that I want to go with this. And if he goes knight b3, I don't think that's as good as knight f3. I think you just play knight f3 here and reset. It's a little odd doing that. In the Sicilian, there's so many games where you're going knight b3, but I think if you go knight b3, it just takes your knight out of the game. It's usually only good to go knight b3 when you're very common when you're playing against English attack, and sometimes, or when you're playing the English attack, and sometimes Yugoslav where this pawn goes to f3. But I don't. It's just not really a theme in any of these e6 Sicilians, and I feel like he's kind of preparing to castle kingside. So I feel like knight f3 is the way to go. And you don't ever really want to be playing f4 either, especially after I put my bishop on c5. Maybe knight b3, and then he wants to go for something like queen e2 and then castle queenside and then play f4, something like that. But I don't even know how good that is. Then he does that. So moving his bishop again. I have a couple things I can go for here. I can just play the bishop b4 pin, but I imagine he'll just move his bishop back to d2, and I will have gained a tempo. But he could also just go queen d2, and then I don't really want to be giving up my bishop pair at all. He does have his light squared bishop on the right square on d3. So, what's the play here? I could go bishop b4. I could go bishop a3 even. And I saw that idea in one of my games before after I looked at it. The computer pointed it out to me. And that was when this bishop was here, but I think this still applies. I think I can still play bishop a3. I don't really see any reason not to. It looks extraordinarily uncomfortable for white to deal with if I were to play that move. So let's go for this. And I mean extraordinarily uncomfortable, unless I could just totally be botching something. Maybe knight b5. No. No, I don't think knight b5 works. No, I think knight b5 I take, and then here, and then I have this queen check. And that should save me, I think. Bishop d2, bishop b4, c3, and then I just run. Okay. Yeah, this seems you gotta do the calculations beforehand, right? But this seems to be working out well for me, I think. Probably his best move is maybe queen c1. Hard to say. Extremely hard to say. I don't know. Queen c1 allows me to play queen takes c3. That might be worth noting. That's kind of a funny idea. And that was kind of the other one I was thinking, but no. But no, because I can play... That just loses, right? I can just play bishop takes b2? And then rook takes, and then queen takes c3 check. Seems to work, I believe. What about bishop takes b2, knight a4, no, I still have that queen check. Bishop takes b2 looks good. I just have to be careful about my b6 square, with potentially this knight hitting it, the rook hitting it after the file opens, and this bishop hitting it after that knight moves. But I think I'm okay. He can't really get all those pieces on there with tempo. So I think we'll go for this. This is why I like the Khan. A lot of people just panic. It takes about an hour to learn it, and it takes much longer to learn how to play against it, I think. I mean, it is really easy to play against once you learn to just not panic and, not really worry about this knight on c3, and but most people panic. Probably a great weapon for even tournament chess, like anywhere under 1800. I mean, it's good at the higher levels too, but at anything under 1800, it's really strong. But also still played at the extremely high levels when you need a win as black. Yeah. Don't I just want a piece though, right? Am I counting right? Yeah, it just looks... I'm winning a lot of things. Yeah, he had to just move this knight. I was attacking it twice and I wasn't guarded, so now I just want a piece. A very strange way to do that. And I guess it took me maybe a few seconds too long to realize that this was a one piece. So I can see how he missed it, because typically you don't get this position where there's an unguarded piece, undefended piece, and there's two pieces attacking it. That's just so rare. So it feels like that you can just guard it and save it, but it's just not the case. So that's oh, and he shouldn't have taken that. He should have just maybe castled. But now I take and just win another piece right here. So when it rains, it pours, unfortunately. And this is why if I don't have any prep on my opponent, I feel extremely comfortable just going for the Khan and usually winning in the opening. The only thing that you really have to be mindful of is these queenside pieces never really seeing the light of day for a long time. That's why I do like an early b5 in some positions. And the boring me would just trade queens and win up a piece. But, oh, I almost mouse slipped there. Jesus. But I think I'm just going to go ahead. We'll just go up another piece. and that should be enough. Make sure we're not mouse slipping. Make sure we're not blundering. The almost mouse slip queen takes or queen to c4. That would have been extremely unfortunate. So now we just need to lock everything down. He does have rook b4. I don't think this is a very good move because I have queen a1 check. So probably castling is a decent idea, I think. Do I get greedy here? Do I play knight takes e4? Do I really need the other pawn? Usually the answer to that is no. Yeah, I'm sure if you put this into the computer, that's the move, but I don't think I need to do that. Knight takes d4 and rook b4 doesn't really work. Just knight takes d2. So, probably I should castle. I think that's I think that's pretty wise. Also, maybe even better is just knight c6. Just develop a piece. I like my queen where it's at. This queen is not vulnerable at all. So as long as I guard it like this is a damn good queen. So we'll go ahead and go for that. I want to keep this. I'd like to keep this pawn stationary as long as possible. I don't really want this bishop ever seeing the light of day. So if I can, I'll just guard this and probably castle next turn. We'll see. The knight move is mostly, and I don't want any rook nonsense. So now the challenge becomes, I'm up 2 pieces. I gotta get these pieces out. It just doesn't matter if you're up 2 pieces and you don't do anything with them. So, okay, so he does guard his pawn. So that's good for him, I guess. I'd like to play here and go for more trades, but that's a really annoying move. I think no, I can still make that work actually. I like trades. Knight to e5, rook b4, and I think I just go queen d6. And then, yeah, that looks pretty okay. Sure. Yeah, let's try to keep trading. He could have some ideas like this at some point, but I think I still play this. Knight takes, queen takes, rook here, queen back, and then knight takes here. And my queen's guarding my f6 knight the whole time. So I think I've got everything pretty much locked down. I guess I'll pull up the pairings as well, show them at the end. Okay. Have them ready. I'm surprised I'm not down on time. I feel like I've been talking more than normal. But he did have to deal with, to him, a very unfamiliar opening. Oh, I do have another neato idea. If he plays queen here, I can just play knight here. And that's kind of a cool idea. And yeah, threatening f2, and maybe he's like, okay, well, that's not mating me, so I can just take this, and then I have rook g8, which traps the queen. So that's maybe also pretty cool. Oh no, yeah, it does trap the queen. Okay. So he's doing me an enormous favor by trading queens. So I will take it. Even if there was a mate in 1, I would take this queen trade. I'm only joking a little bit. Oh, the rook fork was thwarted, but I think we'll be all right. So now the question becomes, do I even castle? Um, hmm. I am not sure. I think d5 is the move, and then when I push, I'm gonna have to, I'm gonna look to relocate my knight, um, and start to swing everything over to the queen side, so I can pass probably the b pawn. Um, hmm. So I need to I do need to keep an eye on my c7 square because that square could become vulnerable. Um, Let me see. And it could become vulnerable if I allow both rooks to get here. So what I can do is I can play d5 or b5 just to take away the c4 square. And then if a rook ever gets there, I'm probably just going king d8. Like if this rook gets here, I don't really want to ever allow a rook to come to c7. It's just unneeded. So then I have to figure out, which pawn. And I think, hmm. I suppose this one. It does make my bishop stronger, maybe. It also allows a4, so maybe I shouldn't have done this. What can you do? Yeah, I don't really like this move now, unfortunately, but oh well. Yeah, if he plays a4, I'll probably just have to take it, which is extremely annoying. Missing really obvious moves. Okay, sure. All right, so I think this is fine. Probably d5 now, right? Or maybe not. No. No, we can go for bishop e7. And I have a lot of resources in case some of my softer squares come under fire. So for instance, if I'm worried about a rook getting on my c7 square, I can just play bishop b6 or bishop c6. If my bishop gets hit, I can just castle queenside. If it gets hit twice, yeah, what do I do then? Probably just move it. Yeah, probably just go bishop c6, and then if I get checked here, I just go forward. My rooks are covered. So, yeah, it pays to be up a couple pieces, that's for damn sure. Okay, so I like my rook where it's at. All of my pieces they're all kind of allowed to coexist peacefully now with his pieces. So I can look to play things like king e7 maybe. I need to get my rooks out. Is king e7 the best way to do it? It looks like it. King e7 looks fine. Just have to make sure my bishop isn't... Yeah, my bishop can always go to c6, and it's totally fine there. Okay, so let's go for king e7. I don't know what that is. Some very strange pawn moves for my opponent. He's got to get this rook active. He could have really put the pressure on me earlier. And I'm up 2 pieces, but I mean, he can make it difficult at the very least. Let's see. So I think I just go... Yeah, I think we go here. And we need to start running this guy. So this is what the bishop c6 move is for. This rook's going to swing over. And yeah, we're just gonna help him pass. Sure. That is fine. Yeah, I see no reason not to just pass this guy. Okay. And now I was waiting for this move. I'm very happy to see it because now I can swing my knight over here, bring my knight into the fray on the queen side as well. I'm hitting this pawn, but I don't even know if I want to take it. Okay. That pawn is hit, so we advance it. Defend it twice. And he guards that one. So I think now is probably a good time to bring this other rook into the game. Look to come here, maybe. Maybe. Not totally sure. I had to find a way to get this rook off of this square. Probably maybe just rook here. Rook takes, pawn takes, and then if he takes this, it's guarded by the bishop. So I could look to do something like that. I can also look to put that king back in its box. So let's quickly throw a punch to that guy. He goes there, and now I have a neat little tactic here. My knight can move with discovery, but he can't hit anything necessarily, except he can move here with check and come onto this nice little square here. I don't think it matters though. Oh, unless he moves there. Okay, if he moved like up here, as soon as I fork, he can just come back and trade rooks. But now I'll take that. I will definitely take that. Okay, now which rook do we want? This is actually something I have to be careful about, I think. I think I want this one so that my knight can return here, I guess. It doesn't make much of a difference, I don't think. I just have to make sure that there's no other kind of funny business. Yeah, no, this works out fine. And then we can go here. Well, is there a mate? Can I just end this? I don't see one. So let's just trade. Okay, and then I think I want to take with the pawn. And then my knight in the corner is actually a really nice help here. Because I can just swing a rook down here on a2 and everything's defended, fortunately. Okay. And yep, we'll just do this. Rook down to a2, and we're going to kick the king out. And pass the pawn and win. Unless there's a mate. I don't see it. Yeah. Don't think so. So we'll go here. Okay. Plenty of pawns, so there's no stalemates. Maybe not that one. Okay. So we'll go here. So this makes it really easy that he moved his king over like this. And fortunately the king can't move, so it's just mate next turn. Alright, cool. Let's take a look at this. Oh hey, I can see the spectator chat. I never got to before, I don't think. I think it was bugged. Huh. Ah, nice spot, Corey. Very nice spot. Okay, let's run this analysis. I'm a little curious. I'm always curious. And then while that's running, I'll go ahead and pull up the pairings for the round. We do have some pretty exciting games, I think. Always better than round one. Round one is usually kind of a crapshoot. So we have this one, and then this is a big one here. That one should be really close, very exciting. And then maybe even the board 3 one too. Alex has been playing a lot stronger lately. And then even down here as well. Elliot against a relative newcomer, but he's quite strong. There's a few good ones. Okay, this is about what I expected. I didn't really feel pressured at all during the game, so I didn't have to make any tough decisions at all. I mean, I was up. When you go up a piece or two in the opening, that's usually how it is. So then what were the inaccuracies? I'm willing to bet the inaccuracies were probably in the endgame, where I didn't do what the computer thought was like the perfect mating attack. So looks like we played the opening normal. Bishop d2 is probably an inaccuracy. I don't know why the computer doesn't say anything about it. It's just not the best square for the bishop. Bishop d3 is a fine move. Yeah, when you play against the Khan, that's where that bishop belongs. Does it like bishop c5? Yeah, probably not. I thought it was a fine idea. Bishop e3, and then it doesn't like bishop a3. That's strange. Yeah, knight a4. Yeah, this kind of makes sense. This is probably something I shouldn't be missing. Knight a4, and then this is a little soft if this knight ever gets to move. Yeah, but I mean 0.3. So maybe a worthwhile try. Oh, knight c to b5. Okay, it's starting to see what I saw before. And a takes and b takes. I thought I could get out of it though. Oh, wait. Oh, here, and then b takes a3. No, I didn't even look at that. That makes sense though. Yeah, because he's just winning this pawn. Whoops. Yeah, that would have been that's a very obscure tactic. Strange. Okay. Yeah, I didn't even look at that. Rook to b1, and then yeah, bishop takes b2, and then this is where everything starts collapsing. So what was he meant to do here after this? He could go knight c to b5 again for the same kind of obscure tactic. It's a cool one though. Yeah. Yeah, I figured the knight would just go a4 or something, which is the other move, but I really like that knight b5 move. You just win the pawn right after. Very cool. And then we'll speed through this. Knight c6 apparently an inaccuracy, so maybe I'm totally off. I might have played the endgame okay. And then we'll speed through this. And then a5 an inaccuracy. So none really after I had promoted the pawn, or while I was promoting the pawn. So so it actually does like knight takes e4, that's why. So I think I expected that. And I played knight c6 on purpose. And then rook a3 in d5 it likes. Yeah, I don't know, I just figured let's get the pawn a little closer to where it needs to go. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. It looks like a lot of these games are going to be ending, or they'll be played probably this weekend. So I'm looking at around 3, probably starting sometime next week. Maybe early next week if we're really lucky. All right. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.